Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyihi wa mustafa Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man walah. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome to a new episode of Ask Huda. Our phone numbers beginning with the area code 002-0238-555-249, and or there is another number beginning with the area code 002-011-2500-8679, and the email addresses are ask@huda.tv and gardens@huda.tv. Barakallah feekum. We'll be more than happy to start receiving your valuable questions, call and concerns. Meanwhile, I have a couple of pending questions. Ishaq from Egypt, she had a couple of questions. Her second question was, is face painting for kids permissible? As a matter of fact, since this is a contemporary issue which was not discussed in the past, in addition to this is not a washm similar to tattooing, it is not permanent. I investigated that, and I was very surprised to find out that the watercolors and the base which is used in these colors that people paint against the faces of the children are very harmful, and they cause irritation to the skin and allergy to the epiderm and so on. So we have to be careful, and we have to understand that the hukm in Islam, in Sharia, is also based on if the item is harmful or if it is safe. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-A'raf, يُحِلُّ لَهُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْخَبَائِثَ, which means amongst the tasks of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he shall make lawful everything which is good, and he shall make haram and unlawful everything which is harmful. And that's why, while we're using anything, even if it is medical, if the risk overcome and it's greater than the benefit, it must be avoided. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, لا ضرر ولا ضرار, harm should neither be inflicted nor reciprocated. So in addition to resembling non-Muslims in these traditions and the harmful effect of applying these colors against the faces, we really should try to avoid that. Barakallahu fikum. Fayruza Uthman, Sister Fayruza inquired about the Shia, and she said, why are the Shias allowed to visit the holy places? I believe I have segments which are available on YouTube and otherwise pertaining whether Shia are Muslims or not. In the light of the answer to this question, we can answer your question. Number one, we cannot generalize. We cannot say that all Shia are non-Muslims, nor can we stop every person who is not on the manhaj from visiting Mecca and Medina and performing Umrah and Hajj and so on, unless if we're certain that this person is utterly a disbeliever or out of the boundaries of Islam. There are some sects which is very clear cut. Those people are not Muslims. For instance, Ahmadis, Baha'is, Ismailis, and that's why they're not allowed. All of them are known as these are deviant sects. All the individuals of the members of this sect from an Islamic perspective are not Muslims. Okay? We cannot give this judgment to all the members of the Shia because there are many of them, as I mentioned earlier, who do not even know the difference between Sunni and Shia. And there are many of them who happened to study with me and they became, mashallah, preachers of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and I have attended khutbah for them, speeches delivered by them, because they did not know. They thought it is cultural, like this part of Lebanon, this part of Iraq, this part of Kuwait, this part of wherever. People are born and raised according to that. And many of them absolutely refuse the concept of attacking the companions or accusing any of the mothers of the believers, and that's why we cannot generalize. And also with regards to interviewing every individual who's planning to go for Hajj or Umrah and know their faith, of course it's much bigger than me or even my suggestion, but it should be considered. Barakallahu feekum, and thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, hala from the Philippines.
Yeah, I'm calling from Philippines. I just want to ask about this fasting during this Ashura. It will start definitely on 10, because I am usually fasting Monday and Thursday. Can I join this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? It's no problem, Sheikh.
Okay. Barakallahu feekum. If you're calling from the Philippines, we're praying for all of you, for your safety, and we're extending condolences to the families of the deceased. May Allah have mercy on all of us. As you all know, brothers and sisters, the Philippines was hit with the greatest typhoon ever that hit the earth in history, and casualty is in thousands. May Allah protect us, and Allah is showing us a glimpse of what's going to happen on the Day of Judgment, and also what He can do. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the Prophet ﷺ directed us to the prayer at certain occasions, because these occasions where people go out to take pictures and so on, it is not fun. Rather, it's very risky, and we should understand that this is a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is having mercy on us, and He can destroy all of us in a blink of an eye. So once again, we invoke Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy on us and guide humanity to what is best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Hamna from the KSA.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam, Sister Hamna. Go ahead.
Sheikh, I have a question.
Yeah?
In India, according to the banking systems in India, it is inevitable and the interest is there. So that the money we get from interest, can that be used for public interest, such as building roads, toilets, or something like that?
Okay. Thank you, Sister Hamna. Okay. Sister Hala from the Philippines, with regards to Ashura, again, thank you for reminding us. We've been talking about it now for over a week. A couple of episodes we touched base on the importance of the month of Muharram and fasting on the month of Muharram, since in the hadith, which is collected by Imam Muslim and narrated by the great companion Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, أفضل الصيام بعد رمضان صيام شهر الله المحرم. The best of fasting after fasting on the month of Ramadan, which is the fard, is fasting on the month of Allah. And it is enough to show you how sacred is a month that Allah ascribed it to Himself. Allah's month, Al-Muharram, the sacred month of Al-Muharram. So it is highly recommended to fast as many days as possible. Of course, we do not fast the whole month. The only month which is prescribed to fast entirely the whole month is the month of Ramadan. In Muharram, in Sha'ban, otherwise to fast and to break your fast. But the month on which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam encouraged fasting, as it is the greatest fasting time after Ramadan, is the month of Muharram. So as much as you can. Inshallah, in a couple of days, we will witness the month, the day which is known as the 10th of Muharram. In the Sharia is known as Ashura, and Ashura in Arabic means the 10th. Why did I say in a couple of days? Because in many societies or many countries, they either began the month of Muharram a day earlier or a day later, okay? So if it is on Wednesday, maybe in another country on Tuesday, another country on Thursday. Anyway, what is the significance of fasting on that day, on that particular day? That is the day which the Prophet ﷺ said in the sound hadith, أحتسب على الله أن يكفر ذنوب سنة ماضية. I anticipate that Allah will expiate all the sins of the past year for those who will fast on that day. Which day is it? The 10th of Muharram. Also in another hadith which is narrated by Qatada, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was asked, don't we copy the Jews, Bani Israel, by fasting on the same day, because they also used to fast on the 10th? So An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam frequently mention a hadith and advises that we should be independent and our worship should not be similar to their worship. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لَإِنْ عِشْتُ مِنْ قَابِلْ لَأَصُومَنَّ التَّاسِعَ مَعَ الْعَاشِرِ. If I live the next year, I shall fast on the 9th as well. So this way, you're not only fasting for one day. So that serves the purpose just perfectly. If some people have began the new year 1435 a day earlier, or on time, or a day later, just simply fast Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll continue on that, inshallah, after this call. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Abdul Qadir from Nigeria.
Salaam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, Brother Abdul Qadir?
I am very fine, Sheikh. God bless you, Sheikh.
Alhamdulillah. Go ahead, Brother Abdul Qadir. I'm listening.
My question, Sheikh, is this. Allah has decreed that we should be kind and dutiful to our parents.
True.
Especially our mothers.
Yeah.
But a situation whereby you have a mother that tries to let you know that you should do certain things, whether such things are against what Allah has said, is an issue I want you to kindly preach about.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Abdul Qadir. Barakallahu feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Abu Safwan from Kuwait.
Hello. Hello, assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm just fine. Thank you for asking, Brother Abu Safwan.
If you remember, I'm Musab's father. You know, we met you in Kuwait and he took pictures with you.
Ahlan wa
If you
sahlan.
remember.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Good to hear from you again. Barakallahu feekum.
Yeah, he always look at your picture and he's always look at your picture. He's very happy. He gave you a new name because he can't pronounce your name. He always say Huda TV when he look at your picture.
That's good enough. That would do it.
Okay. The question is, I have two questions. One of my relatives, she is in the process of Qula or Talaq, as there are some grave issues between husband and wife. My question is regarding Idda. She is a lecturer and has no other source of income. So what about the Idda? It is same like in case of widow, or it is different? Obviously, she cannot stay for 3 months at home, away from the job. So this is my first question. And the second question is about myself. I'm a diabetic and hypertension, and I have some, arthritis issues. So I have really, I have a problem with my sleep. So what happens, especially when I'm praying, I'm in tashahhud, at-tayyat, I always feel sleepy. Sometimes I fell into sleep. So sometimes I repeat 2-3 times my at-tayyat. So because I'm taking some medicines, obviously they have some effects on me. So I'm not feeling comfortable because sometimes I have to do sahu sajda, sometimes I have to repeat. So what shall I do in this case?
Okay.
Especially this happens with me when I'm in Fajr and in Zuhr Salah.
شفاك الله وعافاك أبو صفوان. May Allah give you a quick recovery, Ya Rab. Ameen. Right, thank you. So, with regards to Ashura, tomorrow is Monday, and Monday is a perfect day to fast on every week. And Thursday is a day on which our good deeds will be presented before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to say, I love my deeds to be presented before Allah while I'm fasting. It is more worthy for your deeds to be accepted. So it remains for you Tuesday and Wednesday. On either day happens to be Ashura, depending on your locality. Just start tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's perfectly fine. Why? There is another reason. The day is very short nowadays. Once you pray Dhuhr, that's it. There's only 5 hours left for Maghrib. And because the weather is kind of nice, kind of cold, you don't feel thirsty, which is the biggest obstacle on while fasting. So it is very much affordable. I would like to remind you, brothers and sisters, that the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, whoever fasts for one day, one single day, for the sake of Allah, Allah will keep him away and will distance him from the fire of hell, the distance of 70 years. 70 years for each day. So this is a good opportunity during the month of Muharram, particularly the 9th, the 10th, or the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th of Muharram. Okay? And again, that has nothing to do with the event of Ashura as the Shia sect perceive it, the martyr of Al-Hussein, may Allah be pleased with him, or Al-Hassan, or any of that. Because as I told you, and I discussed this before, fasting on Ashura was even before Islam. And the Meccans used to observe that. And when the Nabi ﷺ immigrated to Al-Madinah, he realized that the Jews too were fasting on the 10th of Muharram. This is way before Ali was married to Fatima, may Allah be pleased with them, before Al-Hassan and Al-Hussein were even born. Okay? And the Nabi ﷺ remarked saying, نحن أحق بموسى منهم. Well, if they're fasting on the day, they're fasting to celebrate or commemorate, we have more rights with Musa than them. We should fast on the day to show gratitude and give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having saved Musa alayhi salam and the believers of Bani Israel, of the Israelites, with Musa alayhi salam. We, as believers, as Muslims, we fast on the day. Ever since the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa prescribed its fasting to give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for saving Musa and rescuing Bani Israel from the Egyptian Pharaoh. Whichever Pharaoh, but he happened to be Egyptian. Okay, so we should fast to give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And by the way, fasting on the 10th of Muharram was obligatory. Then when Ramadan's fasting was prescribed on the 2nd year after Hijrah, then it has become optional, but it is highly recommended to fast on Ashura though. Sister Hannah from the KSA, with regards to the conventional banks in India, and I agree, it is inevitable. If you have money, the only choice is to keep it in the bank, right? Not to save it under your pillow. So in this case, there will be interest generated. What should you do with it? Leave it or take it? Well, let's look at it. If you leave it, what's going to happen? They will collect it. And I know that many non-profit organizations, missionary organizations, to propagate Christianity and otherwise, will be eligible to benefit out of that. Okay? Or the bank itself. So, what if you take it? I take it, but I do not take it for myself. I take it to get rid of it. And this is the ideal option. To take it and get rid of it. As you just mentioned, You can give it away to an orphanage, to a hospital, fixing public bathrooms, whatever. It shouldn't be invested in the masjid though. إن الله طيب لا يقبل إلا طيبا. Okay? You can still give it to the poor, those who are desperately in need, because it is not prohibited for them. Nor is it prohibited for you as long as you do not use it for yourself, nor are you deducting it from your tax or from your zakah dues. Barakallah fikum. Brother Abdul Qadir from Nigeria is confronted with a situation. It is quite tough one. This situation is quite tough. When one's mother is either hindering him from the path of Allah or asking him to do the opposite of what Allah likes. You see, I'm phrasing it in a very simple way. I'm not talking about haram and halal and Islam and kufr. It's as simple as that. In the same course, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered us to be obedient to our parents, right after commanding us to worship Allah alone and not to set partners to Him in worship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put a clause. He said, with regards to the parents who happen to be, worst case scenario, non-Muslims, and they're working hard on either converting their child, he or she, or hindering them from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described this case as saying, وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. The word جَاهَدَاكَ is drawn from jihad. You're all familiar with the word jihad. You know, when the word jihad is mentioned out of context, by itself, it raises a lot of red flags. Okay, now, non-Muslim parents making jihad. What kind of jihad? Jihad in the opposite direction. Any person who is exerting an effort, that's called jihad. And there are different types of jihad. So these non-Muslim parents are struggling with their son, with their daughter, to convert them, to hinder them from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What should we do? Keep in mind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. This is what your Lord have decreed, not to worship other than Him, not to take part of Him in worship, and to be good and dutiful to your parents, to be obedient to them. But if they struggle to convert you, فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا. Obey them not. And do what next? Sever their relations? Throw them in a nursing home? Get rid of them? They're not worth it? La. Even though they are non-Muslims. Not only that. And they're constantly working and struggling to hinder you from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَصَاحِبْهُمَا فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. Give them a good company in the life of this world. What does it mean? Give them a good company, take care of their needs, financial needs, physical needs, assist them, host them, obey them in any matter other than the matter of belief and aqidah and do not do. Okay? When it comes to conflicting with Allah's orders or prohibitions, disregard any command. Not only the parents. If you are in the military, if you are in the army, if you're working for somebody, whosoever gives you a command which contradicts or conflicts what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, disobey the command. Disobey their order. A soldier who's asked to shoot with live ammunitions or hurt innocent people, civilians, protesters, or whatever. He says, if I don't do it, I will get shot. Get shot. But do not disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in order to obey whoever other than Him. We'll take a short break and we'll be back inshallah in a couple of minutes. Please stay tuned.
Reading the Quran is a blessing. Understanding its translation is beautiful. But diving in depth and extracting pearls from it is simply amazing. Do they not ponder upon the Quran? Every week, inshallah, we will dig deep and reflect on the verses of the Quran one by one.
Quran in Depth with Sheikh Ibrahim Zaidan, only on Huda TV.
يا ذا الجلال والإكرام يا حي يا قيوم لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين اللهم أحسن عاقبتنا في الأمور كلها وأجرنا من خزي الدنيا وعذاب الآخرة برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back. Abu Safwan from Kuwait, but we'll take a few phone calls in the beginning. Assalamu alaikum. Sister Abdul Kareem from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum, sister. Okay, please try again. Back to Abu Safwan's question. The first question is with regards to al-khula. He has a relative. She filed for khula, and he is inquiring about the iddah, the waiting period. Al-iddah means the time that either the divorcee or the widow must wait, not accepting any marriage proposal or even thinking about it, because she's in the iddah until the iddah is over. The question is whether the iddah of the khula is the same as the iddah of divorce, which is, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَالْمُطَلَّقَاتُ يَتَرَبَّصْنَ بِأَنفُسِهِنَّ ثَلَاثَةَ قُرُوءٍ. The divorced women must wait for the iddah, which is 3 quru, plural of qur, which is either the period itself or the tuhr, the purity which follows the menses. In other case, the iddah, in the case of the khula, there is a difference of opinion, which is either it is similar to the case of divorce, 3 periods, or 3 purifications that follow the period, or 3 months in the case of a woman who does not experience the period, either because of the menopause or otherwise. And the other opinion, which is a more right view, that the iddah for al-mukhtali'ah, the woman who filed for khula. Do you know what khula in the first place? Khula is when the wife asks for a divorce and the husband does not divorce her, rather she asks for it and she says, or they agree to a settlement, a financial settlement, that she would give him back every money that he paid, the dowry and the gifts which are still there and so on. So if they agree, in this case, that's called khula. He collected his payment, including the dowry. So the more right view, the iddah for the khul is only 1 haidah, experiencing 1 menses only. Once it happens, 1 period, then this woman is free to accept marriage proposals or to get married, unless if she's pregnant. that's a different case. Then the iddah will be giving birth, similar to the case of talaq or death if the woman is pregnant. Now, what is the reference? There was a woman who was known as امرأة ثابت بن قيس. اختلعت على عهد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. She asked the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم for divorce because she couldn't live with her husband anymore. He loved her so much, ثابت ibn Qais, but she said, I can't tolerate living with him, for a reason or another. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَتَرُدِّينَ عَلَيْهِ حَدِيقَتَهُ, and will you be willing to give him back his garden because he paid her a garden as a dowry? She said, yes, of course. So they agreed to that, and the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave him back his garden, and he said to her, عِدَّتُهَا حَيْضَةٌ. The iddah for her is one haydah, one period. Once she experiences the period, it's over. Because in the case of the khula, it's irreversible divorce. It's irrevocable. You remember in the case of الطلاق مرتان فإمساك بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان. The husband may divorce his wife first time and he can still take her back within the iddah. Second time and he can still take her back. But in the case of the khula, the purpose of the iddah, it's irreversible. Even if he changed his mind, sorry, he have no say in this matter anymore, because he accepted a financial compensation. So what is the purpose of the iddah? To make sure that she is not pregnant, which is known as bara'atul rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Rafiq from the KSA. Assalamu alaikum, Rafiq.
I am Rafiq from KSA.
Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to the program.
I just want to ask one question.
Now,
my brother has expired in India.
Your brother passed away.
Passed away.
May Allah have mercy on him.
35-year-old.
No.
But he was working in a company, pharmaceutical company. The company, after his death, they are funding, they are giving some money, for which he has nominated his wife and mother, 50%. So whether this money should be given according to Sharia or as his nomination, just wanted to confirm it.
Okay, barakallahu feek. Number one, may Allah have mercy on your brother, and may Allah give you patience. Any money that is earned after the death of any person, the inheritors each year has a right according to the shares which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided. So the money which is left after his death should be distributed according to the fara'id. We see how many years and who's eligible and who's not, and so on. So for instance, if he has sons, then the brothers will not take anything. If he has parents, then they will take the 1/6. If he has children, if he doesn't, 1/3, and so on. Even if the company says this money will be given to whomever, because this money is his and he left it after his death. هذا والله تعالى أعلى وأعلم. Allah knows best. Brother Abu Safwan said that he's complaining of diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, and so on. Congratulations, this is all good. Am I crazy? How can I say that one who has diabetes and hypertension and all of that, this is good? Yeah, it is good, in a sense. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith, anything that hurts or afflicts the believer, that is good for him. Even if it is as little as a thorn poking him, penetrating his skin, pricking him. Why? Because if he is patient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala utilizes these means to expiate some of his sins. And reward him furthermore for his patience. So, for any sickness, as long as you say Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala erases a lot of your sins as a result of that. Now with the fiqh issue, your prayer and how to sit, particularly because of arthritis, in the tashahhud. Sit in whichever position that suits you and you feel comfortable. I see in the prayer, some people are struggling and aching. And then once the imam says Assalamu alaikum, they may pick up a fight with the imam. What took you so long? What is your problem? The Imam takes whatever he wants to take because he's reciting the tashahhud. It's only you that you were sitting against your will in a position which doesn't suit you. You have arthritis, you have a problem, cross legs, stretch your legs, sit on the chair, no problem. إن هذا الدين يسر ولن يشاد الدين أحد إلا غلبه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. That is the answer to your question and any similar question. Keep your duty to Allah as much as you can. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Ahmed from Ghana.
Alaikum salam ta'ala barakatuh, Sheikh.
Naam.
Sheikh, may Allah bless the work you are doing.
Allahumma ameen. Thank you so much, Brother Ahmed.
Guide us through the crisis in Egypt, Syria, and all the Muslim countries.
Ameen. Ameen.
Sheikh, I have two major questions, but very short ones. Inshallah, the first one is about zakat.
Yeah.
I am a consultant. So what it means is that my money or my payments comes in bits. And inshallah, maybe within the year I can receive payments far in excess of the nisab level. At this stage, the money wouldn't stay until the end of the year. However, my contract through the year is well far bigger than the nisab level. How do I pay my zakat? How do I calculate my zakat to pay?
Okay.
Then my second question to you is about salat in most parts of Ghana here. What happens is, after saying the major worship, the Imam leads the Jama'ah in saying prayers. For instance, you tell it to recite Kulu Allah 3, Ayat al-Kursi, or whatever, Fatiha before you leave the masjid. And I want to know what that is, about whether it's acceptable in Islam.
No. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, Brother Ahmed from Ghana. Whosoever possesses any amount of money, what determines whether your money is zakatable or not is the term which Brother Ahmed just mentioned perfectly. He said it, an-nisab, the threshold, which if you reach from the day that you started possessing this amount, now you got to start counting one complete lunar year, Islamic lunar months, 12 months. When the year rounds out and it becomes the same date of next year, you check out how much money you have. First of all, what is the nisab? The nisab is evaluated by gold or silver, not by cash, because cash is variant. And sometimes it's insignificant. You fill a duffel bag of cash and it's not even worth, for instance, $1 or €1 of another currency. So we go by gold and silver, which all currencies are measured against. And the economy of any country is measured according to the asset of their gold and so on. Mainly gold, but you can say gold and silver. So for the gold, the value is 85 grams of gold. 85 grams of gold. It doesn't mean that I have to possess this amount of gold. No. If you have the cash amount, which is enough to buy 85 grams of gold, from the day you possess this amount, you enter the category or the bracket of those who are supposed to pay zakah, provided you complete the year round. Because in order to pay zakah, there are two main conditions besides being a Muslim and so on. An-nisab and hawalanul hawl. The year rounds at the same date next year, you still have the same amount or even extra. Then you pay the zakah on all your possessions. Even the earning which was earned a few days before the year rounds up. You earned your nisab in the beginning of Muharram, for instance. Next year, there is only 1 week left. 1 week left for this Islamic calendar, Islamic year. And mashallah, all of a sudden, you sold the property or a vehicle or a business or some goods that you have, and you earned all of a sudden that was translated into $500,000 in cash, or 1 million, or more or less, then that will be included in your zakah calculation. Why? From the day you started the nisab, possess the nisab, any addition as a result of your possession will be zakatable as well. What did you say? As a result of your possession? Yes. يعني your investment, your saving, you bought, you sold. But for instance, if a few weeks before the zakat due, I inherited a couple $1 million from a relative who died or passed away, would I calculate this in my zakah calculation? No. I would rather begin a new annual record or a new haul from the moment I received this amount. Why? Because it was earned separate from my earlier position. It was earned either as a gift, hiba, or inheritance. It was not due to my original position. I hope this matter is clear. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Abdullah from the KSA.
Assalamu alaikum, ya Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
May God bless you for everything you are doing for the Ummah.
Ameen. Thank you so much, and same to you.
Yeah, I have only one question.
Now.
Yeah, some people are saying in the Salat, if you make ruku, after you say Subhana Rabbal Azim 3 times, you repeat, you say Subhana Qudus Rabbul Malaikatu Ruh 1 time after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to clarify if it's among the Sunnah of Rasul or is Bid'ah.
Yes, it is.
That's my question.
Yes, this is one of the invocations which is recommended to be said if you have time in the sujood, like if you're praying in Jama'ah and the Imam allows time, to say Subbuhun Quddusun Rabbul Malaikatu wal Ruh, Allahumma laka sajadtu wa bika amantu wa laka aslam, sajada wajhi lilladhi khalaqahu wa sawwarahu wa shaqqa lahu sam'ahu wa basarahu, tabarakallahu ahsanul khaliqeen. Yani there are other supplications other than Subhana Rabbi al-A'la for those who memorize them and those who have a chance to recite them. But the least is to say Subhana Rabbi al-A'la at least once. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Amir from Egypt.
Yes, assalamu alaikum, Shaykh Muhammad.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shaykh Muhammad, I have 2 questions.
Yeah?
The first question is about the Islamic mortgage in the UK. There is 2 systems. One system that you can ask some of the banks that provide Islamic mortgage. They give you like a 65% financing for the apartment, and then you pay the 65 in monthly installments on 8 years, 10 years, or something like that, and then you add also an amount of money for the rent of the house. So you are renting, and in the same time you are paying the debt of the buying the house, and the bank buys the house in their name, not in my name. So it's not like a loan. The other system is that the bank or the Office of Islamic Mortgage, the other one that they buy a house and then they increase the price and then sell it to me again with a higher price. If this is okay, and which of the systems are better? This is my first question. I have a second question about the credit cards. If I'm using a credit card from a bank and I'm asking the bank to deduct the amount directly from my salary, and I'm not allowing the credit card to take more than 60 days or 70 days, and not to add interest, is that okay in case of necessity, like I want to fly somewhere and book hotel or flights or something like that?
No.
And this is my question.
Right. Thank you, Amir. Barakallah feek. Last phone call, Sister Rahma from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Go ahead, sister, please.
I almost can't hear you.
Sister Rahma, go ahead, you're live on Ask Huda.
Wa I can't hear you.
Okay, unfortunately we're running out of time. Please take the question from the control. Brother Ahmed from Ghana, his second question. The Imam after the prayer recites in congregation Surah Al-Fatiha, Al-Ikhlas, Al-Mu'awwidhatayn, and recite the Adhkar out loud. We in the ibadah should be like the train on the rail. Follow and do not innovate. If this is something good, definitely the Prophet ﷺ would have done it and would have found it in all the hadith. These hadith, these supplications after the prayer have been mentioned in hadith, and that's why we recite them. So how come none of them mentions that we should do it in congregation and out loud? Somebody would say, what's wrong with that? What's wrong is, that's called innovation. This is what you're missing. And if you do not think anything wrong with it, I have also some suggestions. And another person have some suggestions. And basically by the end of the day, not the week, we'll have a brand new religion. Okay? So stick to the practice of the Prophet ﷺ. That's called the Sunnah. Some people would say, it is for the purpose of teaching. You have been teaching for the past 65 years. Like you can't quit this habit. Well, I see now, mashallah, all the masajid, they have a poster which has what you should recite after the prayer. That's it. Why? Somebody came late and he's finishing his prayer, he's making up the missed prayer. Somebody's praying his sunnah, somebody, not to disturb others. And meanwhile, we're not making an innovation. Brother Amir, I love to answer your question, but I've been warned that we went over time. So please, inshallah, I'll do my best to begin by answering your questions next time, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest, permit me to pass the ultimate